So I bought this. I've been looking for one of these. The thing that got me into doing like thrift store makeovers was watching Mariah Elizabeth's channel, which if you're on YouTube now, you've probably already seen because she has like millions and millions and billions and squillions of views. Because, I mean, she's amazing. I love watching her art, even if her like aesthetic and style is very different to mine. But it's just nice to watch, and she's hilarious as well. But she made over something like this. I think of these as jewellery wardrobes. I have no idea if they've got like a fancy name. But when I was growing up in like the 90s, everybody had these. Like my mum's friends' kids who we used to play with all the time, they had all the stuff that we didn't have. They had like Sylvanian families and Barbie dolls and all of the stuff that we didn't have because it was like brand name toys. But they also had these, and they kept like costume jewellery and stuff in them. And I was kind of obsessed. And when I saw Mariah make one of these over, I was like, oh my God, I have to get one. I have to paint it. So I found this at the car boot sale, and it's massive, actually. It's kind of bigger than all the other ones that I'd previously seen. I kind of want to turn it into something to keep crystals in, or tools, or maybe like some of my decks and stuff. We'll see what I end up using this for. But he wanted £5 for it. And it's apparently musical as well, but when I got it home and tested that, it doesn't work, although it did work when he showed it to me, so there's clearly a knack to it. He wanted 5, I offered 3, and he took it, so this is mine now for £3, and it has a big surface area to paint on. These, I don't really know what to do with. These panels are glass, but these seem to be like plasticky transfers, and there doesn't seem to be a way to get those off, which is a shame because I kind of wanted to go for like a different theme and do maybe some paint on the glass as well, like with glass paint to make it look fancy. But we might end up decoupaging over the glass or removing it and replacing it with plain plastic so I can paint that, or trying to soak those off. I don't know, but we're going to make this over. It's going to be fantastic. So this is the finished wardrobe. This took a lot longer than I thought it would, just with all like the painting and the touch-ups and waiting for bits to arrive, because I did order a few bits for this. And then also lining it took way longer than I thought it would. There we go, there's some focus. Yeah, this took a little bit of time. So just to talk over some of the clips you've just seen, I painted this with acrylic over 2 layers of gesso, just to help it cover up that really dark wood colour. The acrylic was just a mix of white, black, and then a lot of that princess pink kind of lilac, just to give it, I think, a teeny hint of lilac. I don't know how well that worked, but it kind of does in certain lights. Then on both sides we have these little moons and stars. They were wood cutouts that I ordered from eBay. They were actually super cheap, like £2 for a mass of them. They did have a very weird smell, which thankfully has dissipated. But I painted those in gesso, and it really doesn't like focusing on them. And then some metallic white paint. So they're nice and silvery and shiny. Those are on both sides, obviously. And I glued those on just with Gorilla Glue. Then if I tip this onto its back, it's still very heavy. Obviously I took it apart to paint it, and one of the knobs broke when I did that. The screw for it is actually still embedded somewhere in the door. So because I was going to have to glue them on anyway, I replaced them with these earrings, which are bridal earrings from eBay. They were £3, I think, for the pair. And then I just used like wire cutters to cut the posts off to make them flat. You can see that they're a little bit messily glued, but because of the strength of the magnet that holds the door shut, they kept coming off, so I've had to glue them pretty hard. But hopefully now they don't come off. There we go. Then inside, I removed the jewellery hanger because I didn't want that anymore. And then I removed all of the coverings. Hello me. I've just washed my hair, it's wet. I removed all of the linings and stuff from the drawers and the sides, and then I used that as kind of a template, but to be honest I ended up having to cut bits off to make it fit, because obviously it couldn't be the same size or it just wouldn't fit in. It had to be slightly smaller. And the velvet I bought was about £3. To be honest, it's not the best quality, but I liked the colour and the sort of soft lilac tint to that. I did end up gluing the mirror back in as well. So that's the original mirror in there. The drawers, these handles did not come off, so they got a little bit of paint like on the post underneath, but I cleaned off the top, and then I stuck a flat black pearl on there with Gorilla Glue just to make them look a bit nicer. Also added stars and moons in here to continue the theme. There's a little bit of stray glue there, just get rid of that. But yeah, those are nice. I did think of getting like silver fixings to make it look more cohesive, but to be honest I couldn't be asked by that point. This irritated me when I pulled, when I like unscrewed these things. This piece of glass came off straight away. This piece had been glued in, so when I tried to lift it, the corner snapped off. It's not such a big deal because obviously from the outside it's hidden by the frame, and it's not like sharp or anything, but it really irritated me. The patterns from the glass I just removed with a glass razor that was about £2 from eBay, so that didn't take a huge amount of time. And to be honest, the random stray glue bits just floating around in my room. Ugh. The glass razor was super useful for removing the cardboard and stuff from inside here. I ended up having to soak most of it off because it was really glued on there, but the glass razor helped enormously. The drawers originally were quite sticky once painted and lined, but I rubbed a candle over the sides and the bottom and the top of them, so now they're really quite easy to remove. That's just an old trick that, oh, that one's still a bit tight, but it's an old trick that my mum used to use on like stuck drawers, just rubbing a candle on them, and it's worked quite well. So there's a little life hack for you. But yeah, I quite like this. I'm not sure I have room for it in my room because even as I was painting it, I had to keep moving it around and there just wasn't enough space. I think it's really cute. I kind of want to put a, use the rest of my little flat back pearls to cover a pot and put it in here to have my makeup brushes in so they don't get dusty. And then I can put like makeup in the drawers. But to be honest, this might end up going up on Facebook Marketplace just to get rid of it because I've painted it, I've had my fun, I've done my project, and now I don't know that I really need this. But it was so much fun painting and getting it all done and cool. And I think it is a definite improvement on the very vintage look it had before. So if you're thinking of doing one of these over, it is really fun. You just have to be able to like take it apart and put it back together nicely. Which I struggled with because I'm not very like tool orientated, and it was a little bit fiddly, to be honest, and obviously a couple of bits broke and had to be replaced, but I think it ended up okay. So send me any pictures if you've like done one of these over, if you have seen some like cool ideas for these. Let me know if you know what they're called, because I'm still calling it like a jewellery wardrobe. But yeah, in the meantime, stay tuned for the next video and give this a thumbs up if you're enjoying this little DIY series, and I'll see you in the next one.